we'd seen the benefits that we'd experienced through being in Mockingbird 1, and it was great for us, it was great for the children. So when the opportunity arose, we thought we'd give it a go.
We wanted to be able to offer to other foster carers what Becky and Richard had offered to us, really. Really benefited because they were able to build relationships with Becky and Richard, and it gave me some time to step back a little bit and just refocus on everything. And then obviously it benefited because we were able to just have a little bit of time together and go out for a meal sometimes. The children just built brilliant relationships with everybody in the constellation, and it just really helped with their confidence and helped bring them out, which then meant that we could really focus on their needs because they weren't quite so attached to us all the time. We could do activities and enjoy them more because they weren't so clingy to us. And by the time the children had left us, when we went on Constellation days out, the children would go off and play with all of the other children in the group. It was like they were just meeting up with family members, with cousins, and it was just amazing to see.
Basically the same. If we can get any children within our hub to have the same relationships with each other as we've seen develop through Mockingbird 1, and again with the adults, because you have a number of adults who are basically all pulled together, don't necessarily know each other, but then all to have a really good relationship and have to talk about things, and the opportunity to talk about things which you can't generally do outside of the Mockingbird, the fostering sort of network.
If you're having a bad day, you could ring any of the satellite carers within the constellation. You don't have to ring the hub carer. If you want to ring one of the other satellite carers and say, are you free? Do you want to meet up for a cuppa? Can we go and have a play date? You can do that as well, and that really, really helps to have that support network around. Well, we did look into it about a year or two previously, didn't we? And we just decided that the time just wasn't quite right for us. We still had, I suppose, things in the house that we needed to do. We wanted to make sure the house was ready for when we fostered, and the timing just didn't seem right. And then an event came up with South Tyneside where they were doing an open evening for foster carers, and I went along and we spoke about it afterwards, and it was just the right time. I can't really say why it was the right time, it just felt like the right time. And then by the time you've gone through your process of your assessment, that takes nearly a year to do that, so you've got plenty of time to consider if it is the right thing to be doing.
Well, we were approved 2 weeks before the country went into lockdown, and we took our first placement, I think a week after the country went into lockdown, 1st of April, I believe.
1st of April, we took our first children.
And it was challenging, because obviously as we first took children on board, country shut down, so we were very limited to what we could do with the children.
Yeah.
But if there was ever a time that it could have possibly gone wrong, it would have been then. But it was great. We really sort of worked well together and got really well with the children. We had the first placement for a year, and then the second placement we had for 2 years. It's been great. Really good relationships with the children. Do it.
If you're considering it, do it, because it is just so rewarding. It's the most rewarding job, role, position. You don't think of it as a job, it's day-to-day life, and it's what you do. But do it, definitely. If you think you're right for the role, give it a go.